Have you ever had a moment in time where it seemed like everything slowed down and God was peeling back the corner of a picture to give you a sneak peek at all he might be doing behind the scenes? Like he was giving you a snapshot into the depth of his work behind the things, the events of your life. Well, 3 weeks ago, my husband and I found ourselves sitting in the corner of a hospital lobby while a man was tickling the ivories, playing his favorite show tunes. And he paused and began playing Great is Thy Faithfulness. My husband and I looked at each other and tears welled in our eyes. It was this audio soundtrack that was resonating with the worship in our hearts. You see, just 2.5 days earlier, our daughter had given birth to her first child, our second grandson. Barrett David Vegas was born, and we call him Little Bear. And the beginning of Little Bear's journey was wrought with difficulties. We had been praying that he would make it to week 20, and then 24, and then 28. And many of you had been praying with us for this dear little life. And we knew that the hospital had decided with the doctors that they would take him 3 weeks early, and so he would be premature. And that meant his life would probably begin in the NICU. But what none of us saw coming was that the NICU at our daughter's hospital would be full. And so just within hours of him being born, he would be whisked away to a hospital across town. So while her sweet husband followed the ambulance across town, we remained with our daughter. And as awful as that sounds emotionally, to not have your child with you, that's how it felt. But by evening, Bear was gaining strength, and our daughter's health was improving, and she knew and was determined to get out of the hospital as soon as she could to be reunited with her son. Now here we were just 3 days later, and we're sitting in the lobby, and we are rejoicing at all that God is doing, knowing that our daughter is being reunited upstairs with her son, really meeting him for the very first time. But the story even is deeper because there's so much that happened behind the scenes. You see, when Ethan arrived at the NICU, he ran into a high school friend, a young woman who had spent her own 2.5 months in that very NICU. She had given birth to premature twins and had been there every day. And even though neither twin had survived and she had left the hospital empty-handed, she felt the call in her life to begin serving people as a NICU nurse. And that is where she had transferred to work so that she could walk other families through something that she had been through. And that man downstairs on the piano, he was battling cancer. It had been his routine to play piano 2 days a week for everyone who walked through the lobby of that hospital, but now he was reduced to just 1 day a week on Fridays for 1 hour. And we happened to be in that hour. It was the picture of the body of Christ walking along a journey with us, offering us strength and hope and getting us through the moment. My name is Paula Tremayne, and I serve as the children's pastor at the Ramona campus. And in the month of July, our preschoolers are going to be memorizing Ephesians 5:2. Walk in the way of love, just as Christ loved us. You see, it follows Ephesians 4, where there's a call on our life, a call to serve one another, a call to use the gifts that God has given us to build up the body of Christ, to help each other get through the hard things in life. And this was that picture. Other people, even though they had suffered or were suffering, were serving us and getting us through that moment in life. And God had peeled back the picture to let us see the deeper story. So North Coast, as we walk through our lives, let's remember to walk in love and serve the people around us.